Okay, we are now live. I am your host, celebrity publicist, motivational speaker, and now best-selling author, Sherontelle Dirskell. And thank you so much for coming in on another episode of Choose Your Path. Hello, hello. Thank you so much. I'm waiting for everybody to come in. This is exciting. Shout out to 10K Cards. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. We are ready on a Tuesday. Let's get ready. Oh, you know what? Before I bring you in, before I bring the host in, I want to introduce him. Isaac M. Hamm III. He is CEO and founder of Im3media.com. He is a marketing and brand management company that specializes in building brands from the ground up and providing people with businesses and strong plan to be successful. How amazing. Hey, Trey, thank you so much for coming in. Hey there, 10K Cards. Which simply means that the way you present yourself to the world is how the world will receive you. The brand is you is their mantra. Isn't that amazing? The brand is you is our mantra. That is amazing. He's a brand. He's a walking brand. So are we ready to talk to? Oh my goodness. Come on, let's bring in Isaac. Brand. No? Okay. That didn't work. We are just waiting. Thank you so much for buying you got the hearts. You bought a badge. Thank you. Oh, okay. I was wondering. Got it. I always see that name and I thought that was the one. All right. Izzy Ike. All that time I thought that was the one. Oops.
Hey,
Oh, hey. I was like, oops. I always see the unique brand. So I was like, click, click, click. Come on in. Come on in.
and
How are
then
you?
I went to go and click, and then it was just, and then it shut me down, and I was like, well, why can't I see the maybe because you were allowing people like trying to get the other page in, but I was like, what the heck is going on? Why
That's
can't
what
I?
it was. It was the
No, let
other
me see
page.
something. I'm sorry, my phone does this thing where it like dims my screen, and I'm like, why do I look so dim? I'm like, do I have good lighting? I don't
You
know,
have
but I guess
perfect
it's good.
lighting. I did yesterday, I had an interview and it was a Zoom, one of
Mhm.
those live Zooms. And I promise you, I was looking at her, like right now, you're at the bottom of the screen. So the entire time I'm looking at her, and when I watch the interview, my eyes look like they're closed. You know what I mean? But I'm looking at her and it's like, why
Mhm.
did she tell me to just look up at the camera? And I would have just looked
I
up at the
know.
camera. And now I'm watching this interview and my eyes are like completely shut. But I think it's that media thing in me because my sponsor was like, it's fine. I'm sure you did fine. I'm like, no, the lighting needs to be okay. The sound check, sound check. Everything needs to be
Mhm.
all right because I'm presenting myself to the world and
Yeah.
I don't want it to look crazy. Later on, we're going to
Yeah,
be looking at that 10, 15 years from now.
and you know that saying you're as good as your last. You know, it's with everything. It's the last time you went to a meeting, were you on time, were you late, were you early, did you bring coffee, did you bring, so everybody needs to understand that, and that's why you talked about my mantra, the brand is you. The brand is your reputation. And I'm always advocating that because people think, oh, I'm a radio host. But no, you are who you are. I'm Isaac Hamm. Yeah, I'm an author. Yes, I do brand management and stuff like that. But when I'm walking into a Starbucks, I still need to remember that because if I'm an irate customer and then I get in front of people and be this, you ever watch the episode of Martin where their friend, with Pam's friend come and she's eating pork really, but she's trying to be all natural and sister girl and all that stuff. And Martin and Pam, come together. You know, so it's like you have to be yourself and being consistent. I know I'm jumping over, you know,
No,
the
this is
intro
fine.
stuff,
This is
but
conversation, so this is
yeah.
fine. I love
So
it.
being consistent is one of the steps in my book. It's actually number 5. It's the final thing. After you get through everything that you want to be in life and do and want the world to perceive,
I knew it
then
was
you
gonna cut
need
it
to
off.
and then this is fancy too because I forgot that Instagram does this where you can pull from your catalog of folders, files. But you know, being consistent, that is the last
Mm.
thing because after you done went through everything that who you are, what you want to be, your SWOT analysis, which is strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats, you have to then be consistent. Now, whether that SWOT analysis or that rebranding is for a 6 month time frame or a year, maybe you're having a campaign and you're like, I need to do such and such for these many months, then you have to be consistent with what you put in place. And I see a lot of people, a lot of artists, a lot of regular Joe Schmoes that just because my book is not just for entertainment, you know, it's really, and I actually have the book here. So this is
Oh, that's
the
perfect.
actual,
So you can hold that up, and I'll put mine's up, and then they'll see your head.
yes.
I don't know why
So,
Instagram
you
does that
know,
on some of the pictures. I think it's because both of us are in. Because if I was by
yeah,
myself, I would be able to see the entire thing. They're working on it,
totally.
I'm sure.
Enough
Trial and
complaints,
error,
right?
right? Yeah.
Enough consistent complaints, they will fix it. So, because
Exactly.
this page is the new wave of IG. The unique brand page is still the old way where you just click at the bottom and you can see who, you know, your activities, like who's liking
Okay.
stuff or whatever. So
Hmm.
it's I don't know. It's like back in the day when I don't know how old you are, but I'm sure you're old enough to remember when they took the area codes off the front. You know, I'm sorry, before you didn't have an area code. No, I'm lying. Remember, you used to be able to just put the 7 digits in, and now you have to do 10 digits. And I remember growing up, I used to call different numbers that I didn't have to do that to see how long it took for that new number that where I had to do 215 being from. I know that was
I
old.
remember the times of being excited about the area codes, but I also remember we couldn't call long distance.
Oh yeah, yeah. Unless your mom got the package, and then you're like, okay, 3-way calling, but you couldn't use it. All right, we about to tell our age because next you know we're gonna be talking about AOL and the dial up and the split cord. Yeah,
All of that, right? So
the kids will never
how are
know.
you doing during this pandemic?
You know what? Honestly, I'm doing fine. You know, I
Hmm.
really am, and it's you know, I'm not an essential worker, but yet I'm a needed you know business that people are now doing. The benefit of this pandemic, the unfortunate part is that people are now collecting their PUAs or unemployment. So a lot of people are nervous about their jobs. So what's going on? The transition that's happening around the world is that everybody's now becoming an entrepreneur. So everybody's like, hey, I got a print machine. I'm gonna print out t-shirts. Hey, I want to do candles. Hey, I Google how to write a book, you know, and that's how my book was birthed because I already wanted to do a book, but because I had all this downtime and I didn't have active clients, I started getting new clients. So I said, well, let me start writing my book while I have the time. And my friend Taryn Goldsmith, who I've known for over 10 years, she's an author herself and she co-wrote the book. And the cool thing about having a co-writer, you know, it's like 85% is you. You know what I mean? That 15% is making sure the commas and the periods and the I
Hmm.
walked in a room. What did you see in the room? You know, that type of thing is what I'm glad that she was able to add. But I was able to write my book, you know, and I'm able to talk on podcasts, interviews, and stuff like that, and motivate people that the brand is them. And these steps are so simple, and these are steps that I will give to somebody if they hired me on for that hour consultation. But I said, why not put it in the book for $12.97 and just know that I'm helping people who can't get in touch or feel like they can't get in touch with me or may not have that hourly consultation or can't afford me, but yet they can take these steps and say, you know what, he gave me a story, he gave me some pointers, and he gave me some vision.
Yeah.
So that's the cool thing. And I tell people, I was like, it's like being a teacher. You know, you see a third grade teacher and you're successful in what you're doing, and they're like, I thought you would have been locked up in jail. You're so bad. Like, well, okay, I'm sorry. That's me. But my bad was like little boy bad. It wasn't stealing cars and nothing like that. It was just more so just talking a lot in class and, you know, just,
Mischievous stuff that we do when
yeah,
we're
just
growing
little
up.
boy stuff, you know, sit down. You know, my mom was like, you talk so daggone much. So, which wound up helping because now I have to talk for a living, which is great. So, you know.
And that was me. Like, I love talking. I love talking so much that I decided to start these conversations because I just want to talk. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm not going out. All of my flights are canceled. What am I going to do? I need that socialization. Like, I
Yeah,
absolutely need that. So this was just a way of adapting and adjusting, is to come on and do Instagram lives. I've been Zoom calling it up
yeah,
since this. And I think it also brought back the old art of conversation, like how amazing and beautiful conversation is. I love conversation. Me and my grandmother, we used to have coffee. That's why I always have the coffee here, and I have a cup of
mhm.
water, and we just sit
Now,
there and
what's
we
in
would
that
just
cup though?
talk.
What's in that cup? That's the
Oh,
coffee cup
oh
now.
no, it's that's true, but it's coffee.
Uh-huh.
It's
Uh-huh.
coffee, and then the good old water. I'll turn it this way. It's in the
Gotcha.
water, yeah. And we
Right.
would talk though, and God rest her soul. Uh, I feel like I live on that wisdom today from those
Mhm.
conversations. So I want someone, in each of these conversations to take something with them to build their blueprint that they start creating during this crisis if they're not doing it right now.
Yeah.
Like, start
Right,
today.
right.
I was just
And
at a
I think
funeral.
it, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm
No, it's
sorry.
okay. I was just at a funeral at home in Cleveland, Ohio, and I stand up. That was the hardest thing to do, was to speak during the funeral. But one of the things I said is that if you have a dream, do it now. She is a
Yeah.
perfect example that we don't know the day, the time, the hour, right? And at any time, that can be it. She was only 46 years old. And so
Oh
here we
wow.
are. So every day I want to be intentional with my day. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Um Having now with this pandemic and having to do these FaceTimes and stuff, and just knowing the celebrities that I do know is it's humbling for them because now they're forced to keep their brand and they have to talk. A lot of times they get on stage, and if you didn't pay for that extra meet and greet, or if they didn't have time to meet and greet you, you would never get to see them. So now the new wave is you have to talk because I got new music. I'm still breathing. I'm not dead. I'm not COVID. I'm good and I'm working. So it's like now they're forced to have these conversations. And it also opens up the opportunity for people like us to be able to interview them because they're thirsty for, and I say thirsty in a positive way,
In a
not in a
positive.
negative way, but they have to keep, because when
Yes.
the world opens back up, you don't want them to think, how many times I thought Sinbad died, and I met him like years ago, and I walked into an open mic in Philly and I was like, I thought you was like, I wanted to say that so bad, but he was sitting straight up and active. And I said, I thought this dude was dead. They do that to
Yeah,
Kevin Camp. They do it to all them artists that you don't see, and they
that's
kill them off.
true.
And I'm like, so they need to be able to do stuff like this because they're living somewhere and now they're able to reach us and talk to us and get these questions answered that that we want to find out like about. So, which is cool. So I think this is the positive of it, is that now people have to communicate more. The 6 feet difference is one thing, but now it's more like, I think people more are listening to what people are saying versus, oh, she fine, look at her. No, now I'm looking at your eyebrows and making sure your eyelids don't got crust in it. You know what I mean? I haven't been attracted to so many eyebrows in so long. I'm so turned on by eyebrows. I'm like, damn. It's
We
like that's all you get to look
quarantined.
at.
Like where I am, I'm quarantined for
Mhm.
a while. I was not going out at all. And I was coming on live just the way I am.
It's
But I've
like you
always been
dressed at the
showing
top.
me.
Yeah.
Right,
And
exactly.
and
Just at the top, and that's it.
when it happened, I was like, we're gonna come outside again. And a lot of people was wearing t-shirts like, never would I go outside. The world is but now they outside jet setting on boats on, yeah. I'm like,
Riding
weren't you the same one that was,
bicycles.
yeah, I'm like, wasn't you the one that said you would never come out the house? And it's like that's why I didn't subscribe to I'm not coming out the house. I waited to see like what ways can I prevent not interact, like catching COVID or interacting. And honestly, I caught it back in June. And my experience wasn't like everybody else's experience when it was, people like my best friend sound like he's dying. He's like, he kept on trying to tell me it was the flu or tell me it was this. I said, and then he was like, oh, I lost.
You're like,
I'm like, your sister got it. Your wife is coughing, hacking up a lung. Y'all gotta start being have preventative
oh,
set for that. You know what I'm saying? So then his whole house
yeah.
is locked down. I'm just like, I just feel like nobody can see it. So I'm not surprised when somebody say they can't taste. I'm not surprised by that because you could be home and people can be in and out of your home bringing it in. So you just never know. You could be in your house locked in a room and you go downstairs and touch a Sharpie and go like this because you've
I
been in the
never even
house. You
thought
don't
about
get it.
that.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to live your life, but you have to just be a little more careful now. And I mean, after having it, now I have hand sanitizer every 5 seconds. I'm like this,
Oh yeah, I got
So
it in the car
I'm a
too.
little, I'm a little lighter on my hands than I am here. So, um, I just think with anything. So back to even a brand, you have to adapt to what's going on. We have to
Mm.
adapt as brand to speak through this microphone. I don't know what I sound like on your end and what you sound like, but of course it's going through a microphone, so I sound probably a tad different than I would if you saw me and heard me in person. So, and then it also allows you to have more of you're more comfortable at home, knowing that this what you see behind me is comfort because I'm home. I'm in my home office, opposed to being on the stage and like see it's 119 people watching, but I don't know what they look like.
We
I
don't
don't
know
care
what they
either
look like.
because I'm
That's why I
home.
never went
But guess
live.
what? You don't know what I got on at below. You know what I'm
I'm
saying? So
right, exactly. I can have my pajama pants on and no one would ever know. And I'm just
oh
sitting
my
right
God.
here in my living room and I'm like,
It
hey, and still doing
it's so
business.
bad. It's so bad. So I was talking to yesterday, I was talking to my assistant and my intern, my new intern, and I got up to do something at the window and I was like, oh wait, I do got on clothes. I literally forgot because I just jumped up and I had on shorts, but I was like, oh snap. I forgot
That is
that could have been
wow.
in my drawers. Okay.
You literally can do a lot during this time. Like I've
Hmm.
completed 2 books, working on a third one now. The one that we just recently did is #1 best-selling on Amazon, #1 habit for
Nice.
entrepreneurial success. But that was during this time. Like that was
Hmm.
created during this time. And then I
Yeah.
also do a radio show that airs in London and Barbados. And I
Nice.
know they're going to kill me if I say the word wrong. So I post it, and it's every Sunday. It's Lifestyles of Successful Thinkers, and I just talk for 3 hours. I co-host with Dr.
3 hours.
Adrian Daisley. Yep, it's 3 hours. I do it every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., and it doesn't even feel like 3 hours go by because I'm talking about things
But
that
you know
I
what?
absolutely love.
It's because you love it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And that's when you wake up. When you wake up, I wake up every day loving what I do. I love the fact that I could drink coffee all day, and if I wanted to change it from coffee to something else, I can
you
because
can.
I'm in control. You know, I'm in control. And I have friends that are entrepreneurs that don't have to sit necessarily in front of a computer and do documents and create and all that stuff. And I'm just like, you never touch a computer, but they're like designers and stuff. They draw everything out. I'm like, I like being able to, so it's like, it's such a creative space. And I don't think I will ever go back to a 9 to 5 because I've been a full-time entrepreneur for 5 years. I'm moving to Atlanta. I put in my 2 weeks at my job and was just out, and I just moved here. And I didn't move here. I tell people all the time because people move here and they get excited about, oh, you was with,
The
it don't
hype.
even matter.
The hype,
I'm not
right.
even
Don't,
going.
don't
I'm
even
not even
drop the
name
names.
drop.
I get
But
right.
you were with this, that, and the other. So they want to move here because they know that those people live here. But I'm like, you have to understand. Before I moved here, I was already 15 years in being active in this industry. So my relationships are 15 years old. Some, some 15, some longer because I've interned with people who are now CEOs somewhere at major corporations, and now I can call
I
them. They're
love it.
managing these artists, and now I can call them. And I remember when they was 12 and 13. One of my good friends manages Jacqueline Carr, and it's just like, yo, like that's dope. She's a dope artist, and I know somebody who literally I used to drive from one corner to the next when we was young because I was that much older than them, and we interned at this this TV station, and then we
Hmm.
all was just friends. And even though they were like 2, 3 years younger than me, the fact that I was driving, I was the old head. Like, oh, okay, yeah, like so all that, taking the time to kind of mold people that are younger than you. You just never know where people's future. I wouldn't have thought that I would have been sitting here with a book. I'm about to release my beard line on November the 1st because I have a beard and nobody wants to give me a deal. So I was like, let me just create my own.
That's what you have
And
to do.
you're literally the first person that I on an interview talked about my beard line. I have all my marketing stuff ready to be released and all that stuff. So I'm really excited about that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank
That
you.
sounds really exciting. Yeah. Sometimes when you can't find it, you just have to create it. You just got
You
to
have
do it,
to.
right? How did you
It's
get the
so easy.
concept for your business? How did you come up with
For
that concept for the
oh,
IM3 media? I know you got several things going on, but
so
let's just say with for your media company.
okay. So quick story. I got my name. Well, the name was developed. My dad actually gave me I am three. And my full name is Isaac McDonald Hamm III. It's in the book, so I might as well tell people my middle name is McDonald. And in the book too, that I talk about using your full name in conversations with people, because when it's ready to cut that check, they're not writing a check to Izzy Ike. They're remembering Isaac Hamm is my name. Izzy Ike is cute for the social media, but my name is Isaac Hamm. I want you to write that check correctly. 2 A's, 2 M's, Hamm,
Okay.
Hamm, Isaac, 2 A's, So I always tell people like, no, 2 A's, 2 M's. And that's how I want people to know me, because social media will take over your life where you're going by your handle. And it's like, that's not your name. Be true to you.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, that's true.
I'm always going to be Isaac. That Izzy Ike stuff. If you call me Izzy, you don't know me. If you call me Isaac, you know me, but if you call me Ike, you really know me. You know what I'm saying? So, and if you call me Ham, we cool like that. Like some people call me by my last name. But I am three is Isaac McDonald, and I'm the third. And I was going to a funeral. My dad's cousin died. We was going to Virginia,
Oh,
driving to
wow.
Virginia, and I was like yelling at my dad because I was like, "Can you help me get a name? I need a name. Like, help me." And then he just came up with I am three, and then the media part. A friend of mine in Philly was doing my website, and it was either going to be I am three group or I am three media, and I was like, I like media, and that's how it came.
I
But
like
it
it.
started off. It started at because so I started off doing events, so it was an event marketing company, and then when I moved here, and you have to move with the time. You know what I mean? It's like I tell people all the time when people are trying to identify who they are and what they do, you have to listen to people. If somebody comes up to you and call you a host, then you're probably a host. If somebody says that you're an influencer, you have to listen to the people, because if we can sit here and create what we want people to think we are, but if they not, if I think that I'm the president of my own world, if nobody walking up to me calling me the president of your own world, then you're not the president. You just some
Because now
Negro
you
that's
done
talking to
stepped in with
yourself.
the ego. Now you
Yeah. So
let the
that
ego take over.
yeah. So you
I
have to
love
allow
words.
you have to allow people to
Yeah.
kind of define who you are. You have artists. Brandy didn't call herself the Vocal Bible. People called her that.
That
Fantasia,
is
I think,
so
called herself Rock
beautiful.
Soul. I think Fantasia made that up just to give herself her own lane. But you got Queen of Soul. You got all these things. You have Izzy Ike, this brand strategist, celebrity brand. I hate that. I'm just a brand strategist, but that celebrity kind of gets you into a different. But I have to
No, it
allow
puts
people
you
to
in
do that.
it puts
Hmm.
you in a different lane. That's true. Focus. Speaking of brand,
Yeah.
uh,
Hmm.
I don't know how many Focus. You got a few. He has several Grammys. Let's just say that several Grammy winning producer of Focus Three Dots. Thank you so much for coming in. He's the one that sparked that light in me to go for it and like put myself out here, because I was working behind the scenes. I never
Hmm.
had the desire to ever come out. So I just had to say that since I seen him on here, because they might pop in and pop out. So I wanted
Yeah.
to get him
Yeah.
before he leave out. Yeah, thank you so
Yeah.
much. You're absolutely right. Like it,
Yeah.
everyone else around me was telling me certain things. I said, "You think so? You think I can speak?" You're like,
Yeah.
"What? That's all you do?" Of course. I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I love that concept, and you're absolutely right. Thank you for sharing and really explaining that, because that's a good one. What is your mission?
My mission, okay, so my mantra is the brand is you, right?
Yes, I
So
love that.
my mission is always to motivate people to understand that they are a brand. You know what I mean? It's so many people doing the same thing. It's 1,001,000,000 people doing this conversation right now. But
Right.
what makes you different? Is it drinking coffee and having water to the side? Is it the way that you verbalize what you're trying to say? Is the way that you ask your questions? So, I always just live by the brand is you, and my mission is to continuously motivate people. And I have another saying, leave a legacy, not a problem. And I feel like people really need to start
I
leaving
like that.
legacies. And people don't understand what a legacy is. To be a legend is to create your own lane, and you just become great in that thing that nobody else can nobody can really mimic. Nobody can act, because they would have to come to you for the blueprint. So if you got people coming to you for a blueprint, then you're legendary. You're creating a legend, for a legendary status for yourself. I always tell people, when I die, I want people to keep on reading. I don't want people to say, okay, Isaac M. Ham McDonald Ham III was the son of Ham, the son of Isaac, the sibling left, however they say it, left behind sibling Sharon. I don't want that. I want
Yeah.
people to read, people have, and that's what I say with the 20 years. And I never really get on this high horse or get on this pedestal until I'm asked about it. And it reminds me and it humbles me, like, oh snap, I do have that. I've been have citations from the state of Pennsylvania. I have a proclamation here in Atlanta. I have an actual day, you know what I mean, for my advocacy for Black Music Month, which shout out to Deanna Williams, who is the co-founder of Black Music Month, Kenny Gamble and Ed Wright. And that's my mentor. She called me the other day and wanted me to get involved with the museum in another state. And it's just like, she's legendary, but people may not know who she is. But she's the mother of Black Music Month. We celebrate this month because of her. Her lobbying, her and Kenny Gamble and some city and state council people pushing this, in
That's
Harrisburg.
amazing.
So I coined myself the godson, and she confirmed it. But she's the mother of Black Music Month. I'm the godson of Black Music Month, and I can stand 10 toes down and say that I am the only one that advocates just as hard as both she and Mr. Gamble. So, and I take that with pride, so I want people to read and just say, you know what, he did this in Philadelphia, came to Atlanta, his friends, his dear friends, blah, blah, whatever. So I work for that. And my nephew, I want to leave a legacy. I want my nephew to get old and say, my uncle changed the perspective of this, or changed the landscape of that. My aunt, Sonia Ham, was married to my uncle. She passed away, but she was on radio here, and she came on right before Yolanda Adams. And I take so much pride into telling people that my aunt was Sonia Ham, and they like, oh my God, that was your aunt.
That's
But she's leaving a
beautiful.
legacy and not a problem, because then I can mention her name. And they like, I don't fool with her. I don't, she was corn. She owed me $5 or whatever. So when I take on people as mentors, or give them that pedestal of love and support, and I have to make sure that I'm not promoting somebody that don't do right by people. So if you do right by me, I can only talk about my experience, because if I know this person to be true to me, it possibly could be you that did something that caused that person to switch off on you and be like, I'm good. It's people I cut off, and they may say I'm mean, but I'm like, it was a purpose, because you got to, in this time too, you have to protect your peace, because people are going
Oh.
crazy. You know what I'm saying? I did find myself like questioning, like, okay, what's happening next? And I had to snap out of that quick, because there's people out here suicidal, taking up drugs and
Oh,
taking up,
yeah.
becoming alcoholics and stuff like that. And I don't want to be a statistic, you know what I mean? So I'm always trying to stay creative, and I'm always trying to figure out ways to help others and stuff like that. And having a book like this is helping people.
That's what
Like
we
I
have to
said,
definitely talk about. I
yeah,
mean, you are definitely a brand. It would be almost impossible to just like decipher through your EPK, your bio, to talk about all the things that you have done. You need to do that research. It's just going to be impossible. You've done a lot. You've been in business for a very long time, branding
thank
and building. So, yeah, what do you think? Because of so many things, are there any that you look at are the biggest, some of your biggest accomplishments?
Well, I think to date, my biggest accomplishment is in Philly. I was doing open mic. So I always been a part of the music scene from 2001, interning at the radio station, doing my first event, a hip hop event in 2001. Then I did a hip hop and R&B. So I take pride in the fact that I've given a lot of stages and platforms and space for artists coming out of Philadelphia and that tri-state area. So I take pride in that. I'm a part of a cast of people who open up their doors to allow people to express themselves through song and
Nice.
poetry and stuff like that. And then
Mm.
another big accomplishment, of course, is my Black Music Month, the advocacy that I do for that. Just being able to executive produce for 11 years an event that I barely got sponsorship dollars for. you know, whether I made money or if I walked out, never do I look to go leave an event that I did and put a down payment on a house. The smiles on people's faces, the reaction, the testimonials. Yeah, to this day, I have people come up to me and they're like, I did your first event in
And you're
2001. I
like,
remember, and I still, yeah, and I still have great relationships from that. So I take pride in that. So anything that I've done to where people came and paid and had a great experience, those are my biggest accomplishments. And it's just so many things now I want to do. I'll be 39 in December. I know I look 27, but
okay.
I have a 5 year, technically a 6 year goal. You know, I want to own some stuff in my 40s. I want to be a millionaire in my 40s. I get that whole 20s, you act a fool, 30s, you figure it out, you know, and then in your 40s, look at all these millionaires.
It's a
They
lot.
don't become millionaires. They don't become that until they're 45, 47, 50. You know what I'm
That
saying? So I still got time. And that's how I gauge my success. So I'm successful every day, but then I'm gauging my dollars by, you know, my age, if that makes any sense. You know what I
it
mean?
does make it makes a lot of sense, because each day that goes by, everything that we're doing up into whenever point that it manifests itself is building towards that. If you
Yeah,
weren't doing absolutely anything and there here comes 45, you may be living 35 again in your 40s.
exactly.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So
Exactly.
I absolutely get it. What is, I know that you left the 9 to 5 and I'm out of there. We could talk about the negative stuff, but I want to know, like, what are some of the favorite aspects of being an entrepreneur? What are some of your favorite aspects of being who you are and having this amazing brand and team?
You know, the amazing part about being an entrepreneur
I'm so
is
excited.
taking a nap. It's taking a nap. Taking a nap every day. If I can get 2 naps in today, I'm not. Oh, I'm taking a nap after this because I got the 10 o'clock. No, it's too late. I I can only take a nap between the hours of 3 and 5:30. If I go to sleep after 6 o'clock,
I
just don't
take
even
naps.
wake me
I
up.
love naps.
Listen, if I go to sleep now,
Take
I'm not gonna wake
naps.
up until 10. I'm gonna be miserable, and so I'm gonna have to push through, drink some coffee. Um, I love that I can binge watch TV when I want to, because I'm really good on not I don't never put myself like under pressure, but I'm good at, okay, I got 48 hours. I'm good at kind of like using that pressure to like get done. Um, but a nap is definitely necessary. But to answer your question for real, no, but really a nap is
That's a really
fine.
cool. No,
Um,
it is.
I love I love being able to just I love being able to say no. I love being able to take on clients or take on opportunities at my own will. You know what I mean? Because
Oh, that's beautiful.
I don't have a stressed life of debt. So my life is not like the next person's. Like I'm not, you know, with $10,000 on this credit card, student loans coming on that. My stuff is paid. Like I'm good, so I can kind of walk a little different and breathe a little different. That's like equivalent to like not having no money in your bank account to having $20. You just like, oh, I can, you know, that
Mm-hmm.
$20 will change your whole mindset. But when you had 5 cents, it's like, damn. So I just like I said, that whole goal of wanting to be rich in my 40s and like really just be able to do what I want to do and know that I own businesses. I know that those multiple streams of income, that's what I'm getting to. So I can wake up every day because I know that I can invest in my own self and I don't need people. I need people, of course, to
We
support
all
me
need
and if they
people, of
want to
course.
invest. But I don't wake up feeling like I gotta beg for your approval. Like, hey, can I get $5? Here go my GoFundMe. I don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that I can wake up and just do whatever I want to do. And I talk to people with 9 to 5s and they like, I gotta get back to work. I got 10 minutes. And I'm like, well, I'm about to take a nap. They like, I hate you. And I'm just like, I'm sorry. You too could quit your job. You
And
too
that's
could
the
quit
point
your
of
job.
these conversations. I want people to know that they can create the life that they want. They got to believe it can be so.
Yeah.
You got to be that before you already become that, and
But
also
but
trust
you
the
know what though?
process.
But honestly though, I want people to understand it's okay to have a 9 to 5. Because just like that
Graduate.
statement, the feeling of being broke, that
Mm-hmm.
being broke and feeling that, that's going to mess with your mental, and you're not going to be productive. You're going to find yourself sleeping all day long because
Mm.
you don't have no money in your pocket. And then let somebody say, I want to hire you. I got $100, and that $100 is going to get you up. You're going to do that task. You're going to
Oh, yeah,
spend that
that's
hundred
true.
dollars, and then you're going to be back in the bed like this, watching Wendy Williams or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But
Is
if
it
you
back on?
focus on, it's back. Yeah, it's back on. It's not the best. I don't even watch it when it come on. If I'm looking at my smart TV and I see it come on, I may watch
Yeah.
like just hot topics. But just imagine, accept that goal. Get three people paying you $100. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
Set a goal. Set the goal that you don't want to go under. Set that bar. You know what I'm saying? Like really say, you know what? I'm gonna go for three people. If I got three people, I'm gonna just use $100. If they pay me, three people pay me $300 a month, I know that that's going to help me get to the next level. So set those goals. But work that 9 to 5 because people got kids. Some
Do
people
both.
can't just
Oh,
people
or you can, yeah,
listen.
did it for a very
I
long
tell
time.
people all the I tell people all the time, I don't got no kids, no roach, no rat, no lint. Like
No, no,
I'm
none of
good.
that
So
extras.
I don't have to worry about supporting nobody but myself and love on my family and be there for them. So I'm not like everybody, so I can't expect everybody to have that same kind of energy. Like, oh, I can eat oodles of noodles every day. I can add a hot dog. I can add turkey. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good because I don't have no mouths to feed. So everybody's different. I don't want people to think that I'm just being very like, oh, he think he this. No, I'm just saying it took a while for me to get to this point to be okay with where I am and who I am because I'm not impressing nobody. Who am I
You don't have
impressing?
to. And
If you're
you
not
don't.
paying my bills currently, I don't have to impress you. I just have to be able to show up. I have to be able to pay for what I need to pay for when I do show up.
It's about the
So,
I
but yeah.
am. It's the I
Yeah.
am.
It's the I am. And you gotta love your brand. Because if you don't love your brand, who's gonna love it? It's like loving yourself.
Ooh.
Remember, the brand is you, it's your reputation, it's who you are. And if you mistreat it, then other people are gonna have that you're gonna give everybody the green light to mistreat you as a brand. So, you know.
I am shouting out. I am shouting out to my sponsor, 10K Cards. This during
I need this.
let me tell you, it is all yours. It is all yours. This
Oh
is
my
so
gosh.
amazing because you think about this pandemic, right? And the cards, the physical cards,
Yeah.
out of there. They can buy your book from here. They can subscribe to your YouTube channel. They can check out your website. They can even book an appointment with you all from this right here. So that you got your own
Oh my
QR
God.
code there and they scan that QR code and that is what goes onto their phone with all your information. This right here on my phone is my bookmark. Like it's
Mhm.
literally under Netflix. I see my face is right there, and I can click on it. I'm like, my son's like, you got your own app. I'm like, something like that, something like
Uh-huh.
that. It's my
Uh-huh.
own digital business card. So this is our gift. Shout out to 10K Cards. He's on here.
And it's so
Yay!
neat.
It's
It's so
so
when I clicked on it, I was like,
beautiful.
when I clicked on it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is
Yes, it
cute.
is a game.
Okay,
It's a game
okay.
changer for sure.
Oh
Look
my
at that.
gosh, yeah.
Yeah, 10K
I'm a
card. So please tell people if they want to.
yeah.
I think they
So
can get it from your bookmark. I believe
yeah,
they can
because I
order it.
can. I mean, this is really good because a lot of course, Linktree, everybody is doing that, and this
Now
is
this
giving
is
me the
better.
same thing. Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
I feel
neat,
like it's
and
better. I took away my link tree. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah, I took away
yeah.
mine,
No,
and I have
this is
this.
good.
Yeah,
So
this
I'm
is
definitely
awesome.
gonna I'm gonna use this for my clients, get them all excited. Listen, if I can give them one more new thing to play with, I'm doing my job. Okay.
Absolutely, we appreciate it. Thank you so much, 10K Cards. I got an awesome
Yeah.
sponsor. How did you come up with the title for the book?
Of the book. So I
Yeah.
decided. So I originally wanted to do a before this book was even thought of. I wanted to do a book called "The Brand Is You." I'm not famous, just popular. So that book was going to be more like a memoir of my life. Like it was going literally. It was opening up the day that I graduated high school and not knowing what was behind the door.
Okay.
And then I realized. So I started creating chapters, and then I said, I hate reading. And I was like, I don't want to read. why I'm about to
Well, I'm about
do all
to.
these dang pictures and pages if I know that my demographic, man, I want to read all of that. So what I
Hmm.
did was I took my chapters and said, let me make them ebooks. That because we was quarantined and everybody was in the house, I started learning about an ebook. I said, damn, I could do 3 pages and sell it for $2.99 and make this, have
Yeah.
this another thing of income. So I said, let me just start. So when I started, I had a goal. I said I want my book to be at least 40 pages, but I wanted it to
Okay.
be something that people could grab. You know, when I first did it, it was like it felt like it was this big, and I was like, yeah, I need to
Mm.
add pictures, and I hate bragging that I know these celebrities, and I hate it, I really do. Most of
Why?
people think, but it's like I got pictures with Candy and Mona Scott and Jill Scott and all these people,
Okay, that is so
and
cool.
but the thing about it is, what people have to understand. You don't have to be friends with these people. You don't have to have their phone number. What you have to do is make an impression on them so well that the next time you see them a year later at an award show, they remember you. And then that your brand is now in a position to shake hands with Michael, what's his name? Brian J. White. Like that's the homie. But he's the homie when I see him. He's not the homie that I'm texting right now. He's just a homie. And as a brand, people see you're talking to these celebrities that they can't get to. So my whole thing is this: build those relationships, make a great impression. You're as good as your last. So if my last impression with this celebrity was great and we laughed and we was chilling and we was drinking together and I know about it, I know I was witness of something happening that TMZ didn't see. And I'm not
Uh,
talking about nothing nasty. I'm just meaning like maybe he tripped down the steps and nobody took their phone out. But it's like those memorable moments that you have to create with people so they can remember you.
that is so
I have a lot
beautiful.
of industry friends that I can walk up to and they be like, "Yo, what's up, Ike? Deion Cole. I met him one time, and I literally he was in Philly one time, and so was I. He gave me tickets to his show. You would have thought we grew up on the same block together. Mona Scott, great person. When I see her, is love.
But
Do
aren't
I
they're
text her?
just people, right?
They're
Like
regular ass
they're
people.
just
People,
people.
people got people got to understand. Celebrities are regular people who don't know what they're doing. They have a talent, and then they have people around them that make them who they are. You know what I'm saying? They're smart. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just meaning like they can't do it alone. They're
Like
regular people
you.
with a talent.
Like
I'm so
you.
regular. I am so hella regular. I'm just like,
I don't think so. Because I sent out this flyer to a couple of my celeb friends and they were like, wow. And I was like, whoa, who's this guy? I can't
oh
wait.
wow.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I was
Tell
like,
them I'm for
oh,
hire.
okay. Yeah.
Tell them
Okay. I'll let them know. I'm
I'm
sure
for
they,
hire.
I told you they come in and come out. So that's why I'm like, let me shout them
Yeah.
out as I see them. We got DJ Butterrock on here. He's a celebrity DJ. Shout out to Cyrus
Yeah.
Webbs. He's a media mogul. Cyrus Webbs.
Mhm.
I mean, like
Yeah.
literally, this
Yeah.
guy is everywhere. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
We just
so many
started.
people. Thank everybody.
I want to say we follow each other because of your flyer. I want to yes, because we definitely follow each other. Yeah,
See what
yeah.
happens. Networking
But you
is
know,
key.
the thing about it is another about being consistent. You just never know who's watching because I just got an email today and somebody wants to honor me and they want me to they're here in Atlanta and they want me to like speak to people and other entrepreneurs. And I'm like, what? I don't got shit to say. What you want me to
Yes,
say?
you do. You
You
said a
know?
lot on here
Thank
already.
you. So
Yeah.
and also too, what I did with my brand, I just thought about it. I said, everybody's sitting home doing this, talking, whether they FaceTime and WhatsApping, everybody's getting used to seeing people through a screen. So what I
Yeah.
started doing was I started doing my lives, Love Your Brand Live. I started dropping jewels. I just started literally talking to myself and saying, oh, that's good. Let me get my little ring light. Let me go ahead and just drop that. Let me put it as a little, put the
Love
little
your
white
brand
border around it.
live.
Yeah, so that's my IG. I have a podcast and I have the live, and I'm just so overwhelmed. So the podcast is suffering, and so is the live. But I have so many lives. I've interviewed in like 2 weeks 30 people, and this is when everybody started getting on that wave. I was interviewing 3 people a day. I said
Shout
I
out to
couldn't
you. No.
listen honestly. Honestly, I understand why actors have to like decompress and go on vacation or like just shut off the world because when you go from 3 different personalities, you have to change because you have to research, even if you're friends with them, you still got to make sure that you're
You
hitting
do.
all points. And then you meeting somebody new, you got to learn somebody new. And then somebody, oh, it's just like, I couldn't function.
Yeah, it's
I
a
could
it's
not
an art
function.
to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my friends, Craig Hanley, was on here and he was saying to me that one of the cool things that I can do is no matter who I speak to, it's almost like I turn the gauge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can like tune into your frequency and we can just vibe. It doesn't matter who it
Yeah.
is. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's an art to
Because let
it.
me tell
Cyrus,
you,
you sound
let
like
me tell
Cyrus
you,
Webb. He do 5 people, 5, 6, 7 people a day. He does
no.
that like that's
Let me
his
tell you,
whole life.
look, this is what I was eating before, uh, 7 minutes before it was time for me. And then I went in there and brushed my teeth and I was like, I'll get to that later. I probably won't
Share.
even eat it. So
What
I was
was
just
it?
like, oh, it was some type of ramen. It was like a oodle, like a noodle, like a Japan, like one of them
You ever
five
see
minutes in the
somebody
kitchen.
come on live and they eating? I'm like, why can't you do that after? Or why do we need to
Yeah.
watch that? I'm trying to figure out what's going on here.
And
The,
even when you I had a client, he's a child star. He does a lot of voiceovers, but he's also the voice of Charles, I mean, George Beard on Captain Underpants, Ramon Hamilton. And it was funny because he did a live and he was interviewing and he was drinking his water. So after he got done, I was like, look, you take a sip before you start. You see me, I was over here like, because you got one time to choke on something, they're gonna screenshot, record it, and post you. It
oh,
was
I
like,
never
so
thought about that.
yeah.
Because I'm
So
always
I'm like,
drinking my coffee. I drink my coffee all the way through this thing. I
but
never
I'm
thought
just
about
saying,
that.
but you don't just be throwing it back. You
Oh, no, you got
focus,
to
you
take a
listen, but
little bit.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Just like yeah. So I was just so little things because you don't want to kill yourself on live. You just be
that is.
drinking and eating unless
That's
you're
why
doing
people should get your book. Grab your book
yes. Oh, let me get it.
because we need your
There we
head.
go. Yeah.
Oh my
So
goodness.
so you can actually go on my website, and if you go on my
Hmm.
website, I will autograph it. Like I will do the autograph, or you can go on Amazon.com. But if you go to www dot, I think I can pin this in there. Let me see.
And then I'm gonna try to pin it on my end. Say it out loud.
www.im3media.com.
Okay,
So am I able to
perfect.
pin this?
I don't know if you
How
can
do
put
you?
it on your end. You should be.
I don't
If
know.
you like hold it down, and then pin comment should pop up. Hold
I
down the
don't know.
entire comment. Yeah, like put your finger on
Okay.
your name in the link, and the pin should pop up.
I wonder how stupid I look looking
You
down like
probably
that.
you probably look right because I just told you how my Zoom was looking. I was like this.
I'm right.
Exactly. Number one best-selling author. I'm so excited. Like, what the heck? I'm still mad about it. I'm talking about the next day.
Oh my God. So
Oh my
yeah,
God, that is hilarious. Yeah.
so if you order that way or if you order through Amazon, so
But they can see it
what
on
is
mine because I have it pinned on mine. Duh.
okay, cool.
Yeah, like they
And then
can't
it's,
see
it's
it.
look, it's also in my link tree, but I'm about to go ahead and change that so I can
And,
give
and come on,
give
support
some
our
play.
own. Come on and
Yes,
support our own.
yes,
Exactly. Because we in tech too. Okay.
yes.
We got the digital because for some reason in people's mind they don't think that we are what we are. uh, this is, oh my goodness, shout out to my sponsor, 10K Cards digital business card. If you own a business, I guarantee you should have this because it is your website. They can buy your products. If you own a nail salon, if you own a restaurant, he can put the menu on here and people can, they can
Oh
skim through
wow.
the menu. All of those amazing. It's amazing. It's just absolutely
Oh my
amazing.
God.
Watch when you play with it and put it on your phone. You can be like,
Uh-huh.
okay, Sherontelle, she got a dope
Yes.
sponsor. Okay, that's what we're talking about. Branding. How long did it take you to write this book?
Too long. Uh Honestly, it wasn't big. It was my co-writer because her ADD kick in and so does mine. And then I come back to her like, wait, where were we at?
Oh,
Okay,
got it.
let's go. So she challenged me because I said I was going to do another book, right? So I have a workbook coming out. That's called The Brand Is You, Changing Your Perspective. I don't think I have it. I'm giving you. I'm getting look. Look at my.
Oh
This
no,
is
you
my.
get it in. Oh my
Let me see.
goodness. And you also got the beard game going on. What's the name of that? What's the name of that?
So
I didn't
that
write
is
that down.
called. Look, I'm trying to find. I don't know. Oh wait, it's over here. I think. But this book is called. I don't know. I'll just tell you what it is because I can't find the mock up that I have. But it's called The Brand Is You.
Yep,
Changing your
got it.
perspective. So the book is a workbook. It's called a playbook. That's what they're calling it now, a playbook. So the playbook is going to basically give you three activities. SWOT analysis is questions, and it gives you the directions, the instructions on how to do a vision board. So in there, then you can put notes and all that stuff. But it's just helping you understand your brand. That's going to come out top of first quarter 2021.
Okay.
But I was challenged by my co-writer to write my next ebook, which is only going to be 5 pages. I'm gonna make sure that's 5 pages, but it's called The Brand Is You. Please excuse my ums. So when you write a book and then you do the Chamber of Commerce, the Library Chamber of Commerce, if it's under a series, you could put up to 10 titles. So if you make it a series like The Brand Is You and you put the titles under there, you only got paid $35 one time. I think it went up to $65 because she called me the other day, was like, it went up. I said, well, why didn't you buy it?
You're
Why
like,
didn't we
all
buy
right,
it
I get it. A
a
little
couple months
price
ago?
change. Relax.
But I was like, all right, $65. Let me see
We'll
what I
play
can
the
do.
difference. It's cool.
Yeah. So
Just, your
so
wordplay
yeah,
is amazing.
thank
I
you.
love it.
So the book is going to be called Please Excuse My Ums. And the reason
Hmm.
why is because when we speak and talk and publicly speak and you play it back, you find yourself saying And they say in public speaking, when you feel a coming, you are supposed to pause. So please excuse my is because this pandemic, a lot of people are questioning why I'm not jumping out of a window trying to collect clients at this present moment. And I have to tell people, please excuse my which is my stop, my pause, because I'm pausing because everybody's doing the same thing. If I pause and stop and see what's working for people and what's not, I can then decipher what my next move is. So a couple of months ago, I was doing a live and I kept on talking about your systems. So why I am aka pausing, I'm getting my systems together. I'm understanding how when somebody emails me, what do they get back? So I
Love
send
it.
out I may click on there and have people when they email me that they get a response that I will get back to them within 24 hours. That system now sets me apart from somebody who is expected to email somebody in 20 minutes after receiving it. So if you email me, you know that thing said 24 hours. That takes the stress off of me that I feel like I have to respond to you. Oh no, she got the email that said 24 hours. I still have 23 more hours to get back to her. 23 and a half, 23 and three-fourths. Like I still have time. I don't have to respond that quick because we're quick to respond and
I used to do
miss out
that.
on something. You know,
I
the
used to
people
do
who
that.
wanted to, the people that wanted to award me or have me come and speak and stuff, I could have responded right away. But I read that little that email 3 times and I walked away from it. And then I responded.
You have to do
I
that, right?
responded. You have to. So you have to have some. People have to excuse our pauses. People have to understand that everything is not for everybody. So I'm not going to run out here and do all these interviews like I did. I had to pause. I had to get my systems together. I literally had to get people out my life personally. I had to stop with certain conversations. I had to start new
See?
conversations. On my every
Hmm.
Monday, I say instead of money making Mondays, it's new conversation Mondays. Because if your conversation is great, then by Friday you'll have a check. So I challenge people on Mondays to get their conversation, start their new conversation. Because the conversation could be new. I can know this person for 20 years, but it's a new conversation. Hey, I've seen that you've been doing X, Y, and Z. How about we team up? Hey, I've seen you've been doing X, Y, and Z. How did you get from point A to point B
I
or
love
Z?
it.
That's a new conversation. I didn't say the person has to be a new person in your life. It just has to be a conversation that is new to the both of you guys. So new conversation Mondays equals money making Fridays. So that's how I look
Let,
at it.
let me recap all of the things that I learned in this conversation. My takeaway: new
Hmm.
conversations Monday. Leave a legacy, not a problem. Take naps. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely necessary. I love naps. Um, good as your last.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. So I gotta work on it. At least today I made up because my eyes are open. I'm looking.
Uh-huh.
Everybody can see me. They can hear me, right? We're good.
Yes.
Bright as you. And then the beard. You got the beard line that's coming out in November, right?
Yeah. So the
I'm
beard
looking
line
for
is
that.
called. Okay, I can show you. You will get
Okay.
a lot of exclusives. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this is
And I took notes. I didn't take it for granted at all.
this
Oh
is the
my
bottle.
goodness. That's
Yeah, so this is the bottle. It's called Be Unique beard oil, and it comes with a balm. So that's Unique brand, which is my logo, and then this is the beard, and then this is the card that comes in the package. So
so
basically, I know you can't really see it.
sophisticated.
Yeah, so it's the Be Unique brand by Isaac Hamm, and on the back of it, it gives you like the instructions on how to apply the beard oil and the balm, and it comes in this bag. And I'm actually going to put my UB logo on the sack, so when people, after you get done with this, let's just say if you put your jewelry, your watch, you traveling,
Mm-hmm.
you always gonna have my logo with you, whether you put it in, put this back in here and travel with it, or whatever. So, you got to think about longevity. Like, what else could people use this for? So they're done with the bottle. They may even refill it with something else. They may use the tin to put a candle in it and make that a candle holder. I don't know, but you just got to think about longevity. So it's a lot of things we have at home that we got years ago. And we like, oh, I just thought it was a candle, something to hold pennies in.
I
But it's
love
still,
it.
the logo is still on there. So yeah, you just
Your
gotta.
logo, I know your logo before I knew your name on Instagram.
Did
That's how
you?
that's how much yeah,
Wow.
that's why I was trying to bring in your your brand page. That's why I was like,
Uh-huh.
oh, I knew that before I even knew you. So
And
you're doing it.
shout out to my little cousin, because I didn't even think
Uh
that she was interested in even being a part of anything. You know what I mean?
oh well, shout
And she
out
was
to
like,
her.
Tavita, she was like, I just want to help. I just want to, and I was like, cool. And I told her, I said, listen, and I said, I got to get myself together. I have to get my systems in place before I can bring you on, because why am I going to bring you into chaos? I don't want to do
Yeah,
that,
you don't
because
want
then
to
we
do
both gonna
that.
be because you're going to frustrate me. I'm going to already be frustrated, and I'm going to take more naps. And so I decided. So
That's
when
hilarious.
I was ready, and she was like, I'm ready, and
She's
doing
doing
it.
it. Yeah,
She's
thank
she's
you. Yeah,
reaching out to
great. She's a
people.
great team.
She's reaching out to people I know, and they like responding like, "Oh, I know Isaac. I love him. Oh my gosh, let's do it." It's just funny because it took her to inbox him from a
Bring the book
different.
up so we can have your
Oh,
head.
mhm.
I know the hour has went by. I want to make sure that we put in our last plugs. Everyone, this book, $12.97. Oh my goodness. Go and pick it up. And go check out the website because you have an amazing website. If you want to know more about Isaac
Thank you.
Ham the third. I used to go by Miss Slim, and then I said, "Oh no, she has a unique name, and I'm going to go by
Yeah,
Sherontelle Dirskell because that is beautiful." And I've never met a Sherontelle, so here we
yeah.
are, right?
So yeah,
Here we
and
are.
it's like you have to, especially you have something different. Why be something that you're not? Just be that which your mama gave you, and let people learn. Listen, people before Coke and Pepsi, we didn't know what the heck Pepsi and Coke was, and I always say this too: if you build it, they shall come. That's a saying from somewhere else, but you have to keep on putting it in front of people and drinking that Pepsi. And
It's
then I love Pepsi. I hate
it's
Coke.
7 o'clock. Oh. Okay, so we're going off, but I want you to just give us, I always say like a message, a sentence, or a word to the world, a message to the world to keep us moving forward as we get through this pandemic season.
The brand is you. Figure it out. Enjoy, embrace it. Like I said earlier, I said if people are telling you that you should be something, then you may need to start listening to the people around you that especially is saying you the same thing. Oh, you should get a cookbook. Maybe you should get that cookbook because you know how to cook. Maybe your food is good. Maybe you should go ahead and
Just
get
do
that
it.
truck. That you know what I mean? Get that food truck. Figure it out. Because if
Just
enough
do
people
it.
are telling you that now, it's one thing when somebody ain't telling you nothing, you just go out and do it and be like, hey, I got a truck and I cook. Be like, your food nasty, dog. Like, you see, you don't eat your food. Like, you got to look for the clues, and you have to be open to seeing and do a survey and do a SWOT analysis. I know I didn't give you a saying or a phrase,
But But that's
you
okay.
know,
We got the workbook that's coming up,
yeah,
2021, correct? So
but
we'll be
but do
looking
it.
for that.
But do a SWOT analysis. People that it's 115 people watching. Do a SWOT analysis. Literally take a piece of paper and put a box and just do SWOT, SWOT, strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. And look at everything that is your strength, everything that's a weakness. And
Analysis.
one more thing, don't be scared that one thing is in all four boxes. I always give this example. I talk too much. I'm talkative. Talkative is in strength, weakness, opportunity, threats. I could talk my way into the money. I could also talk my way out of the money. I can also not. The
Yeah.
opportunity is that I can learn bigger words, so I can have the opportunity to go into rooms with more smarter, educated people. Everybody's not the smartest person, so there are other rooms that you can be in, but you have to learn that. So the opportunity is reading the dictionary, learning big words, Googling a word a day, learning how to spell it. Those are the opportunities of talkative. You know what I'm saying? The weakness could be that you're an introvert, but you have all the big words in the world in your head, but you're not an extrovert.
We also
That's
have something inside to give. That's the
right.
point. Choose your
But
path.
the opportunity is that you can write stuff and present it to somebody. Say, "Hey, I wrote this," and they can read everything that you want to say out your mouth, and you're still gonna be great. So that's what I mean by SWOT analysis. I know I can teach a class on this, which I'm trying to figure out how I
As
can
you
do.
as you should add that to your list, and I'll come in. I'm
Because
forever a student.
I get the same reaction, so I must be doing something right. So that's an example of if
You're a
people are
great
telling you
teacher.
something, you have to figure out how to make it. So I was like, let me just start doing more interviews
You're a great teacher.
and let people just learn from what I'm saying. If they want to hire me, if they want to just do a consultation, that's in my link too, and that's fine. I'm not money
Choose
hungry.
your
I don't
path.
want to pigeonhole people and make them feel like they have to hire me for something. No, come a la carte me. Come every 6 months, every 3 months, tune up. What you need, what you working on.
What's that quote they say? People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. So
I never heard
then
that. That's a
you
good one.
know, really? Yes. Simon, I
No,
think his name is Simon Sinek. He said that.
got you. That's what
Yeah.
I'm trying to do with Leave a Legacy, Not a Problem. I'm trying to make that
Oh, you
coin
do.
that had
Oh,
that
you.
had that effect.
I did a whole list of them coins that you put out here. I'm gonna put it under in a frame in one of my notebooks. I learned so much from you. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Isaac
for having me.
Ham the third. Oh, that means
Yes.
there's a legacy, there's a lineage going on, and that's a whole
Uh-huh.
nother conversation. But thank you so much
Two
for
A's
coming
and two
on.
M's. I
You
tell
gotta
people,
you
spell my
gotta
name
come
right.
back. Maybe you will come back for 2021 when the
Yes.
workbook comes out, and we can talk about that. That'd be cool.
I'm trying to talk to the people in London. What's up? What's up? What's up?
Right.
Yes.
They all trust me. They're all on here. I'm
Oh
international.
my gosh.
And I'm
Yes.
sure
I
you are
see.
too. We
Yes.
are. Not even
All
me.
right.
We. All right. Love, light, and energy to you. Thank you. And thank your
Thank you so
team
much.
so much. I appreciate you. Thank you.
All
Bye
righty.
bye.
Bye bye.